And we are live. Thanks for joining us for another exciting episode of Pop Culture Clobbering Time, where we talk about comics, animation, toys, movies, TV, and all that fun stuff. We'll get this party started in just a second.
I need some lotion.
You do need some lotion.
Oh, what is this?
How you doing this morning, guys? Got my pals Al and Coach Vic. Coach Vic is reporting in from location. He's bringing us the news from where it's all happening.
Secret location.
Parts unknown.
Parts unknown. What are you guys doing this morning? Or this afternoon or evening, depending on when you're watching this particular episode.
What am I doing? I'm trying to shut stuff down off my computer. Actually, I'm getting prepared for next week. Next weekend, I'm going to be at Grand Rapids Comic Con.
Oh, cool.
Oh, you're going to the GRCC?
Yeah. That was GRC. Yeah, GRCC. Can they use Comic Con, or has that been copyrighted?
I think they can use it as two words, not one word.
Really?
Comic Con International is copyrighted or trademarked or some weird stuff like that.
Man.
Awesome. I love it.
You used to do you were like a regular on the con circuit for a while. How long has it been since you've been set up at a show?
Well, a good one. A good one. It was, to tell you the truth, it was 2017, the exact show. I'm gonna be doing Grand Rapids. That was my last official, on the turn, on the scene. Mm-hmm. The traveling salesman. That was my last show. Was Grand Rapids 2017. Now I'm coming back to make all that money I've lost over the years.
Gotcha.
What do you do at shows?
I don't do anything.
He mainly sits quietly behind a table.
Yeah. I just go, buy something for me, please. Please buy something.
Having had the experience a few times of being just totally humiliated by not making any sales at a show that I've tried to sell at, I admire your tenacity and your stick-to-itiveness. It's
not that I don't make, it's the having to talk about the same thing over and over again that kind of drove me crazy a bit. Like, you think Thor would beat Superman in a fight? I don't care. Want me to draw for you? And you guys notice I'm wearing my my beanie thing here. It's because it's getting cold out, and I figured I could be the Mike Nesmith of the group.
Well, we got a wind advisory from 8 to 8 today.
Oh, yeah? I'll be driving in it.
Oh, so will Terry be at the show?
Oh, Terry Huddleston will be at the show. A lot of my good friends will be there.
Will his son have a booth set up?
Huh?
Well, I like the art that his son does. Will he have a booth set up too?
Oh, his daughter. His daughter has a booth.
His daughter?
He has a son, Isaac, that also does 3D animation.
Yeah.
Or artwork. And it's crazy. It's good. His son Adam he would do the pipe cleaner, stuff, and it's crazy. The whole family's talented. Whole family. I'm so jealous because I've never had kids.
It's been a while. It's been a while. When we had Terry on the last time was the last time I talked to him, but I haven't seen him.
He wants to come on. He wants to come on again because I promised him I won't talk about Black Adam without him, and he wants to come on and talk about Black Adam, the movie Black Adam. Okay. But by then, By then, the movie's going to be long gone, and
Well,
no one's going
we
to
need
care.
to see it. We need to schedule maybe after the show today. We'll schedule. We're going to go see Black Panther together.
Okay, I'll go see I'll go see Wakanda Forever, but I'm not going to see Black Adam again. That's just
Okay.
I erased that from my memory. So
Was
Wow.
that bad?
what? What are you talking about?
Black Adam.
I don't know what you mean. I never heard of that.
Oh,
I don't know what you mean.
I think we're safer with that kind of attitude.
Yeah. Say goodnight to the bad guy. Anyways, what is the speaking of non-street level heroes and villains, what do we got going on today?
Today we are going to be talking about street level heroes. Magic Lasso. Thanks for joining us, man. And I think we're going to have some rather surprising favorites on this list.
Really?
So yeah, because I haven't told you guys any of mine except one.
No, I'm sure they'll all be the top guys in the categories and the tournament of who is the top street level heroes.
So define for me what you guys read is a definition of a street level hero. What are the prerequisite requirements for that?
He's got to serve time on the street. It's got to be streets, roads. You know, it can't be space. I don't see space. I don't see like Superman's not a street level guy. Batman's street level, even though Batman can get crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I consider SpiderMan a street level hero, even though he's got superpowers. He's still He's still friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. You gotta have some street cred. You know what I mean?
Right. So he sticks around, New York City. So he's not like traveling the world. He's not in outer space.
That's what I was going to say. You usually have like a neighborhood that they peruse, or a block, or a city. Like you said, they're not like off all around the country or anything like that.
Roller skates. If the hero does she.
Magic Lasso is a huge Dazzler fan, so yeah, she's the street level hero of all the roller skating rinks.
So is Dazzler supposed to be like the Olivia Newton-John and Xanadu type of character?
Yes, she is.
Never saying it. I tell you one thing, I think there needs to be a Dazzler Jim and the Holograms team up. That's all I'm saying. I think it needs to happen. Jim and the Holograms meets Dazzler. So go ahead. That's my top pick. I think we can shut the show down. It is Dazzler.
So I tend to agree with you. I think the street level heroes are like you said, they've got their feet on the ground. They're usually like, it's not like a clean street. That's why I'm not going to say I have a problem with Spider-Man, but like he's in a clean town, but really it's not. New York City's pretty crime ridden.
Well, because for Miles is in Brooklyn.
They're fighting in the alleyways. They don't have much in the way of superpowers. They're just there to stand their ground and defend the people of their town. Look, I'm a opponent. I didn't know it. Magic Lasso agrees on the Dazzler Gem idea.
That's a comic book right there.
Is Al frozen, or is he really? Let's make the call here. What do you think, Victor? Is he frozen, or is he acting?
Well, here I got a question for you. I was watching this video. So, what does Sony own the rights to Spider-Man, or like all the Spider-Man?
They own the rights to, as far as what I hear everybody talking about, they own the rights to make movies of Spider-Man and any related character. So if it's one of his direct villains, if it's any of his related characters like Spider-Woman, Spider-Gwen, any of the the kind of the backup characters.
And they kind of get grandfathered into Miles Morales that way too?
Yes.
Wow. That was a sweet deal they signed.
Well, that's the thing. The deal that they signed was entirely in their favor. All they got to do is keep making content.
Every 2 years.
Something like that. Just on the regular.
I watched the video this morning. Every 2 years. every 2 years.
So in the video, did they talk about how Stan Lee was behind these contracts that Marvel's been trying to get out of for years?
No, it was just talking about the new Spider-Man movie. It's supposed to be in like 2025 or 24, but that'll put them outside the 2-year window. And of course, that's not going to happen. So there's a big gap in between Marvel's and Captain America. That's like a year long with no movie scheduled. And so Spider-Man will definitely go in there. That's keeping their 2 years up, a 2-year commitment.
So Al sent a message through Facebook Messenger. His power is out.
Really?
So
that wind.
Like you said, it is windy today. So I guess we'll vamp until his power comes back on.
However long that is.
So I definitely want to have Al here for our street level hero discussion because he went through the effort of picking his. So we'll do a little bit of a pivot and maybe just talk about the state of things as far as like the movies and what's scheduled. I mean, it's been a long time since we've talked about like what's in the news as far as like we didn't even talk about Marvel's announcements at D23 in depth or some of the shifting that's come after that, or we haven't talked really that much about I've been watching a few of the streaming shows. Like talk about that for a minute maybe.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing that led to the discussion because Blade was moved because like you told me Blade was moved back.
Mm-hmm.
That's why there's pretty much a year gap in the schedule now. Between Marvel movies, and they're like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, Marvel, the one thing I've been picking up on is Marvel will drop these little nuggets of, we're doing Power Man, and then they make all their announcements for this is Phase 5, and this is Phase 6, and they don't mention Power Man. Well, they are like, they're not playing all their cards. They've got things that are going to be slotted in, and things are going to move around.
It's like Kevin Feige's storyboard is like ridiculously huge, but what he tells us like this big.
Okay, he's back on. He's rebooting. So,
yeah.
I'm sorry. We're talking about what was your last comment?
So it's like Kevin Feige's like storyboard is like ridiculously huge, but he just gives a little tiny part of it. But there's all these nuggets, thunderbolts, this, that, and the other, this, that, and the third.
I think they have some amount of flexibility in what they're doing, but I think they do probably have a big board of, like, if you look at it from the standpoint of like the rocks in the sand, where it's like we've got these big events and we're going to plant them here. And then we're going to put some smaller rocks around it to fill in, and then we'll have these little grains of sand that will fill in the rest.
Yeah, exactly. Well, here's a question that's kind of along those lines. I don't know when Al will jump in, but James Gunn taking over, trying to be the DC Kevin Feige, is already an argument, like basically the push and pull with The Rock. Now, my question is, whether Black Adam is good, bad, or whatever, The Rock is going to bring numbers. Whether Black Adam 2 is good, bad, or whatever, The Rock is going to bring numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I understand that the importance for having numbers and money, right? But will the bad movies, if they're bad movies or bad storylines, will they just bring everything down?
I think that's happening on both DC and Marvel. Where
I know he and James Gunn apparently are arguing over the future of the franchise.
Oh well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, The Rock has superstar power like no other actor out there, but James Gunn is now in charge of that whole line.
Right.
So yeah, there could be a power struggle, but and we don't know what the terms are of The Rock's agreement, his contract. Is he signed up for more than one film?
Well, he's part of the leadership team or the board or whatever they have now at DC.
Well, he was until James Gunn was brought in. So now is he still?
Well, it's kind of like that Notre Dame thing. He was hired first. And are you going to kick him off? No.
So, well,
Most
okay, so
guaranteed
it'd be just like if Notre Dame replaced their athletic director.
Oh, there you go. Because everybody wants to hire their own people, right?
Well, I don't know so much that. I mean, The Rock is an excellent talent, and he's a moneymaker, so he'd be like the first guy you'd want to go get, right?
Right.
If you didn't have him, that's the guy you want.
Yes. Trust me, if DC kicked him to the curb, I guarantee you Marvel will be able to try to scoop him up. We can do something.
Well, there was the rumor for a while he was going to be Namor and Black Adam.
Oh.
See what Magic Lasso's got to say. There are limitations to The Rock's acting ability. I read some Black Adam comic books, and I don't think he could pull off the emotion needed.
Did you not see the Tooth Fairy?
Yeah,
but yeah.
I mean, so you have actors that for a long time get somewhat pigeonholed as comedic or maybe a little bit one note. Like you had Robin Williams being Mork, he was comedy gold, and it wasn't until he was given the opportunity to perform a dramatic role that we saw like what his range really was.
Right.
But I mean, The Rock thus far, he's been brought up doing very over the top, theatrical, kind of stuff. Yeah, yes. Can he do something that's a little bit more serious or grounded? And would he want to? Does that play to his strengths? I don't know.
Well, that's a good question. But how do you think James Gunn is going to do?
I think based on his work so far. So I mean, that's what I try and do is base my opinion on what I've seen from him so far. And again, this plays into my notion of I usually will enjoy things more if I'm not as attached to the characters. So he did a Suicide Squad movie that was, I thought, incredibly entertaining. I'm not the hugest Harley Quinn fan, but I like the character and I like Margot Robbie in the role. Mm-hmm. All the other characters I gave no cares whatsoever. And so he made a very entertaining movie out of that and then turned that into a Peacemaker streaming series that was maybe my favorite streaming series so far from either line. I mean, if you want to see some range out of an actor that is coming out of wrestling, have you watched the show yet, Victor?
I watched a couple episodes.
Well, it's I don't know if it's the last episode or the next to the last episode where you really see what has formed that character, what he's been through, and realize that, yeah, he might be a dumbass, but he also knows it, and that doesn't change, the scars that he's dealing with in his life. So,
all right, maybe I have to give that another run.
And I'm not by any means saying it's the perfect best thing ever. Well, streaming show wise, superhero wise, it might be the best thing ever so far, but I think that's a relatively low bar.
Okay.
Mastodon, thanks for joining us this morning. We had Al on, and he got booted because we've got wind storms in our area, and his power got knocked out. So we've pivoted from our topic of street level characters to just kind of talking about some of the things that are going on in the movies and TV and even comics right now. We haven't really caught up on news in a while, so we're just talking about some of the things that have been going on. So let's see, what else did I want to broach about the subject? I mean, I do like to answer your question, I do like bringing in James Gunn as kind of the showrunner for DC. Mm-hmm. The one thing he hasn't shown us so far is how he would handle one of the big premier characters. I mean, he didn't do the Suicide Squad with the Joker in it, so that doesn't count. But I don't know. So we need to see how he's going to handle Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman.
Right. One of the tent poles.
Yeah.
Because I guess you're right. Because doing a collab of people that Guardians of the Galaxy, like you said, there have been minor characters, right?
Right.
Until the movies came out and got a perfect Rotten Tomatoes score.
Mm-hmm. And so I think that's a case of a filmmaker seeing the raw material that we saw in the comic books under Ryan Bendis's writing. A lot of what Marvel has been doing in their movies has been inspired by Bendis writing, which a lot of readers, collectors are either run hot or cold on Bendis because of the way he tells the stories.
Okay.
But the fact is he really brought in some fresh ideas that translate well to the screen, I think. And most of it is just character driven ideas, making characters more three-dimensional, more in depth than just like an adventure over the week of this bad guy's in town and I need to stop him.
So was it Walter Hamada? Is that who used to be in charge?
Yeah.
So they just hire like Jeff Johns and Michael Bendis and all those comic book friends to help lead that with them, or they just use all their work.
Well, Jeff Johns was literally on staff under Hamada for a while until what was it? When the Justice League movie failed? I think they kind of booted him. But he was.
I saw his name on the credits for Titans yesterday.
Yeah, he's still probably an executive producer on that because a lot of times if you're an executive producer when a show starts, you're an executive producer till it's done. You're getting paid, even though you might not have any creative input anymore.
Okay.
So from what I understand, Johns had a lot of great input on the first Aquaman and Wonder Woman movies, and that's one of the reasons they turned out so well. And then I'm pretty sure it was Justice League where things kind of tanked for DC, performance wise at the box office. And that movie was a mess because it went through two directors and probably had a lot of hands in it along the way.
I think they went to the team up way too fast.
Maybe. And he's back.
I'm back. I had to go take a dump.
Well,
power went out here. It's so super windy over here. It just all of a sudden just canned out. Sorry.
That's all right.
No problem.
So that's our show for today. We've talked about all of our street level heroes and
yes.
Victor and I were just filling time talking about the current state of movies and TV and like James Gunn coming in as the head of DC Studios and all that kind of stuff. So what's
his name? James Gunn.
Yep.
Hopefully it's not comedy. Everything comedy.
Did you watch Peacemaker?
No.
Okay.
But then I know I gotta do it. I know it's gonna make me laugh and all, I just kind of. Hopefully not everything's like Peacemaker where it's all, just Suicide Squad ramped up.
Right, and that's kind of another thing that we need to worry about James Gunn is he hasn't done like a super straightforward action flick as far as I know. I mean, I think maybe some of his work before he got into the superhero movies was. But did he do like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang or something like that?
No, that wasn't James Gunn.
No, you're right. That was Black or something.
Yeah. That's Sean Black.
Yeah.
He did.
I feel like Peacemaker be up your alley though, Al.
Don't tell me. Don't. Yeah. No. Don't tell me that. I'll hate it now. Anyway.
All right. So we'll get started with our favorite street level characters.
Woo-hoo.
So let me get some images lined up.
Let's rush through them real quick.
We got 35 minutes to get through all of them.
There you go.
All
right. Are you going?
Where we going? I gotta load up some images. Hold on.
Oh my gosh. I've been gone for 20 minutes. You could have done all this by now.
You're so right. I'm such a hack.
Let's
Man,
do
you know, I
this.
can talk
Anyways, yeah, so
I can talk
street
to
level. We're
myself
talking
for 20
street
minutes.
level.
All right.
All right, so where do we say is what do you consider street level again?
We already had that conversation.
I consider.
Images. I was trying to vamp while you loaded up images.
Yeah, while you sitting there looking at the screen.
So
what am I doing here?
I'm going to go first. I'm going to show my favorite. Okay, so this is my third favorite street level character.
Number 3 from Jamie Hood. Who is this? Oh, Marv.
This is Marv.
Marv.
Could you do a bigger picture? I mean,
I'm working on it. Give me a minute.
Which one's Marv? The one
in the car.
Okay.
Now I don't know if you can get much more street level than this right here.
You couldn't figure out a better picture of Marv.
This is my favorite.
All the pictures of Marv, it's at the top of his head.
I'm sorry. This is my favorite single panel of Marv as a character. I don't know about you, but I'm having a ball.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. No, my favorite thing about
people that never seen Marv, they don't know who Marv is. This is going to be their shot of the top of his head. They don't know his face, his detailed, gorgeous, ugly face.
All right.
What's a Marv? See, Coach is putting in what's a Marv. I call. You better have better pictures for mine. I tell you that much. Jamie's breaking down. Yeah, it's Sin City. It's from the book Sin City. Frank Miller.
Oh, that movie?
Sure.
It was a comic book first, Victor.
I like the fact that he's looking at a comic book panel and he's like, "Oh, that movie."
They've made comics based on movies before.
Yeah.
I think.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get rid of this one.
We'll just show other. You're so easily defeated there, Jamie. You should have fought for Marv. What do you like about Marv that he's so street level? And he's not a hero. How is he a hero? There you go. How is he a hero?
Well, he's not. He's definitely an anti-hero.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's kind of a hero. He's trying to solve the mystery of a woman that he fell in love with one night. That woke up dead next to him the next morning. So
right.
So it's not like he's a cold-blooded killer of women. He's just a cold-blooded killer of anybody else that is chasing him down.
It's just what he did that morning or that night. And he could have done the same thing every night, but it would have been a different person. He's not a hero. And I consider this
one night.
So let me ask you this. Are the campers in Friday the 13th the heroes or the villains?
The campers are the victims.
Okay, so Marv then is a victim.
Okay.
Well, then that's not a hero.
He has sex.
He's not the final girl.
People are out to kill him. That's how.
Okay, so Marv versus Jason Voorhees. Let's see that. I'm ready for that. Marv is not a hero. Marv is not a street level hero. We're doing street level heroes, right?
I showed you street level. He's boots on the ground, big boots. Like
no, we're doing street level heroes, right? Hero.
He's an anti-hero. I'll give Jamie that.
Sure. John McClane is more of a street level hero.
The one thing I like about him is that he knows he's ill and sometimes forgets to take his pills. That's all I got to say.
That trope. Daddy, I need my inhaler. Sorry.
I hate that I'm the one always asking these questions. You guys can be like I'm an idiot. But who's John McClane?
Who's John McClane?
So anyway.
The guy from Die Hard.
Okay.
But see, I don't expect you to know his name. I expect you to think Bruce Willis Die Hard. If you're gonna say Die Hard or Bruce Willis, you're not gonna know his name.
The one Die Hard I saw was Samuel L. Jackson.
That's one of the better ones.
Oh,
1 and 3 are the best They're the two good Die Hard movies.
Okay. I
All
need
right,
to watch one.
We're gonna show Al's pick next.
Woohoo!
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
We're each picking a character. We're gonna pick our top 3 characters, and Al picks 6 characters total.
Hey, this is a crew. You can't have one without the other because they're bogus without the other, right?
Right.
I'm saying the Turtles, the Teenage Mutant Turtles, they're street level. They're so street level. They're under the street, man.
Preach.
That's what I'm talking about. Your guy is a murderer.
Also a rat.
Yeah. So, anyways, let's just talk about Raphael, Michelangelo, Donatello, and Leonardo. Not forgetting Splinter. These guys are lighthearted. They're fun, and they're kind of related to Daredevil. If you want to talk about that, they come from the same ooze, the same chemical that gave Daredevil his blind powers. And what's it? They're like green kick button machines, okay? Better than Marv. I say I win this one because Marv is a scumbag, and they would beat Marv up.
Really? I never knew they came from the same stuff that harmed Daredevil. I never knew that story.
Well, it's an Easter egg.
I never heard that before either, but it makes sense.
What? Well, you never heard that?
No.
You never heard that? Get on, man. Turn in your comic book credentials now.
Look, the only Turtles I've ever read have been in black and white. That's
where it came from, dude.
That's
where it came from.
I do not remember. Ooh. I do not remember that there was a truck that blinded a little kid. That was the ooze that created these guys.
Mm-hmm. Look it up.
I forget that page. I read it probably 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Street cred. Your street level street cred. Nada, Jamie Hood. Go back to Sin City and look at all the Frank Miller boobies.
So I stuck my toe in on the Turtles in one of their very first trade paperbacks. The Eastman and Laird stuff, black and white. No color differentiation between the Turtles. And I was like, yeah, this is pretty good, but I've got Daredevil, X-Men, and Teen Titans. I love those books. So why do I need to read this?
Because it's supporting independence instead of those mainstream monstrosities you're talking about. Jeez. If you don't give enough flavor and love to the indies, you're not going to get the newest stuff.
Wait, I picked Sin City. I picked an indie as my first pick.
Yeah.
That artist
is it indie? It's Dark Horse.
Yeah, it's Dark Horse. Marv.
Wait. How could this is my thing? An indie book from Dark Horse. Okay, that's like the third. That was the third at the time, right? And it's by Frank Miller, who already had hits. He was like a film that you're like saying, oh yeah, well, that downtrodden, guy that's so down on his luck, freaking.
If Frank Miller had not done his work, these guys would not have existed.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I know, because of the hand and all that stuff. It's all off of the whole Frank Miller thing. But still, what I'm saying is it's a punk band. This is your punk band. You're listening to your freaking Paul Anka and all your top mainstream bands. I'm listening to the Ramones. I'm listening to the Sex Pistols, and that's what these guys are. They might have became mainstream. They might have sold out, but when they started,
they sold out. They went color real quick as soon as
they're Green Day. Let's just say they're Green Day because they started out punk, but now they're like huge sellouts.
One of the best Broadway musicals going. One of the best Broadway musicals going.
Green Day?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
They won Tonys for, I think it's called American Idiot.
Appropriate, I guess.
Yeah. Oh boy. Anyways, so let's get to Coach Vic's pick because I can't wait. I know it's gonna be great. No street cred hood. That's what it is.
All right, here we go. Here's Victor's pick for favorite street level character right here.
Hey, what's she doing there? I've never seen her do that. Okay. 4 seasons of Titans, okay? Still not quite sure what her power is, but the girl just straight kicks butt. I mean, and she doesn't have to use that little hand ray thing she has going on there. Hey, that's a George Perez cover, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It's a George Perez character.
Yeah, I
Did
know.
you know George Perez co-created Starfire?
Yeah, well, at the end of the episode last night, they said memory of George Perez.
Okay.
Nice.
You know George.
So how much flying does Starfire do in the show?
She flies.
She
Well,
does.
she flew a ship once, but that's as close as she comes to flying.
So she doesn't you don't have like the vapor trail hair coming.
Oh, that sounds cool, but no.
This is the trademark of the character. Besides the bikini, which we know is kind of passe these days, but
they got her something nice though.
The vapor trail hair is the trademark of this character.
This is street level. This is your street level character.
Hey,
and as I said, she is the exact opposite of street level.
I just watched her take out Lex Luthor's entire security team by just fighting.
So by your standard, look, she's got powers there.
She ain't using
by your standard, Clark Kent from Smallville is street level. That's what you're telling me.
Well, yeah, he doesn't fly. Yeah,
he never does anything. Look, she's like an alien.
Connor Kent doesn't fly.
Did they ever talk about her royalty? The fact that she's a princess?
Well, yes, they covered that the last season. Don't want to give you too many spoilers, but she ain't the one.
Oh.
It's her sister. But
yeah. Well, can I just say that the reason why she doesn't fly, it's called low budget. Okay, the low budgetness of Titans. They've been doing this since the beginning of superhero TVs. Okay, superhero is like, well, we can't afford that, so let's just have them run kind of briskly. Okay, just like really. Oh, I'm fast. No, you're not. Okay. That's your problem with this is you're getting a quarter, not even a quarter of a character from what the original. I'm sorry. Who watches the show?
Now, does Connor Kent fly for real in the comics?
Yes, Connor Kent is Superboy. Wonder Girl flies too.
Really?
Yeah.
Does she have a magic lasso in this show or no?
Yes, she does.
Okay. I'm sure it's not like a gold rope. It's like a yellow rope.
Now I'm intrigued at what all I'm missing out on. Starfire and Nightwing. Do they hook up?
That's why I wanted to read the first trade, but when I went to look for it, it was out of print. I wanted to do that so you're able to see what the real thing is.
All right, the new Teen Titans trade. I need to get that then.
Yeah.
I got a question. I have a huge question.
As a book of the month.
When are we going to stop neutering and just manipulating our superhero things? You know, it started way back with the Wonder Woman. It's like from the old serials, the 40s serials, where they were just like, okay, well, it doesn't really need to be we'll just name Captain America isn't Steve Rogers. It's like some goony name anyways. I mean, even the Wonder Woman with the Crosby girl before Linda Carter, there was a blonde Wonder Woman wearing a tracksuit. Mm-hmm. Okay, and ever since then, Hollywood was just taking superhero. I mean, even the Hulk. If you look at the Hulk, I love the Hulk, but that was just like, well, we can't do this, so we don't want to have his name be Bruce Banner because that's too close to this, so it's naming David Bruce Banner. And then it's hard. It's hard to watch, especially in the 2020s. And we're doing the same thing today, just so we can get it on TV. We can fit it in this little box.
Does Raven fly too?
Yes.
So the whole team flies except for Nightwing.
pretty
basically.
much. Cyborg
Pretty much.
flies. Is Cyborg on the
is on
show?
Doom Patrol.
Cyborg's in Doom Patrol.
Oh, okay. Because he wasn't part of Doom Patrol. He was part of the Titans. His first appearance was the Titans. He had a good, strong background until they turned him into like a.
His first appearance was in Smallville.
All right, next character. Let's go. Who's next?
All right, I got to load up the next set here. Let's see what we got.
Oh boy. Anyways, Smallville. Man, I wonder if that I couldn't stand that show when it was out. I wonder if it still holds up. Who's the monster of the kryptonite monster of the day?
I never watched that show because I know the whole conceit of it was you'll see him fly as Superman on the last scene of the last show. I was like, I don't have to wait around for that.
Let me tell you, the biggest issue with Smallville was it was Clark Kent. He kept lying to Lex, and Lex was like, "Well, why are you lying to me? Why are you lying to me? Why are you lying to me? Why are you lying to me?" And that's what Lex just want to know how Clark Kent saved his life, and why Clark Kent keeps lying to him. And that's the problem. That's why I didn't like Clark Kent on Smallville. That's why I named my cat after him. After Alexander.
What business is it of Lex Luthor what Clark Kent is trying to keep secret?
Because he's coming over to his house being his best friend and then lying to him.
He's Lex Luthor.
No,
he's Lex Luthor. You want to be buddies with Lex Luthor?
He was a good guy in Smallville.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, next character. The Shadow.
Ooh.
I get to go up on that. I'll tell you what. I haven't read many comics with Shadow in it. But street level wise, this dude was pretty crazy. I know he fought a lot of like he just pop in and talk some junk. This dude was in your mind. He was in your soul. He could get in you. I mean, forget about Punisher.
Evil lurks in the hearts of men.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's your street cred. He's in your feet. And he had if you go by the movie, he had like the underground, like when he saved you, he gave you the ring, and then you would be like his, like you would help him out. He'd be like he was basically the godfather of superheroes.
Is this I'm talking guys week because I used to listen to the Shadow radio show, and I loved it. There's this place you get old radio rerun tapes. My dad would always drive and get these tapes. We listen to the Shadow. Love the Shadow radio show.
We gotta check that out.
It's a hero that works across mediums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Radio. But here's the thing. The movie, whoa. Horrible.
Yeah.
That and the Phantom were too. It was like, what are you doing? They tried to make it, they followed the Dick Tracy type, They had its moments. But yeah, so the Shadow, he could wipe you out.
I think this is a property that's prime for Amazon Prime or Netflix to pick up because this wouldn't be an expensive show to do.
No.
It just takes good writing.
I would do it super scary. There was talk of Sam Raimi owns the rights to this and he wanted to do it for a long time, but nothing's ever come. I would do it like real spooky, instead of like a guy walking around. Hey, he could be a ghost, very ghosty,
I mean, Todd McFarlane for the longest time has been talking about doing a Spawn movie where it's like, Spawn is just going to be a creature in the background. And everybody's like, well, no, we want to see Spawn. But that approach would work better with something like this.
Well, that's pretty much the way a lot of the previous work was. I think the radio show, he would just come in and be like, hey, I'm here. See you later. And then it was more like a Tales of the Crypt. And then he would like, hey, I'm here. I'm going to mess you up, Yep.
And as Jamie mentioned earlier, is there a tagline that this does not travel better than that one? Who knows what evil lurks inside the minds of all men?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
sure.
It works.
Paraphrasing.
I mean, it's inspired others, but yeah, there's done better.
I think I think he's ripe for a comeback. I think we could do that. Get it away from, Dynamite or whatever, who had it last, and
Sure.
scary movies. Give it to the guy that did Midnight Mass or It, the first It. That'd be pretty cool.
Mm.
Get a spooky guy in there. Have him do it. Just have him ripping people's heads off. That's what. So who's next?
Victor.
All right. Oh, my main man.
I even picked your version of him.
I mean, I hear the comic book is amazing, and I really need to jump in on that at some point. But Nightwing, he's the best. He's the leader of the people, and they ruled San Francisco for the longest time, and now finally they're moving to a new territory this season. But I just like him. He's a good leader. I mean, he knew what it took to lead his team. He even dosed Connor Kent with some crypto dust, so with some kryptonite dust, so to keep him safe.
Yeah, keep him safe. TV of the week, TV show of the week. You've been binging this or something because your first two, you got Starfire and then you got Nightwing. Is the next one going to be like Beast Boy or whoever the green guy is this week?
No. If he had read the comics, Beast Boy would be on his list.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because
being the changeling.
The character in the show is not nearly as good as the character in the comics.
So you watch.
Budget reasons?
I've watched the first season of this, and it was entertaining, and I get it. It was way darker than what the comics are. And for the budget they worked under, they did okay.
You know why it's so dark? So they can hide the crappy outfits.
Look, in this day of 4K TVs, it's hard to hide the
anything
low budget that goes into this stuff. Like I watched, I started watching Mandalorian when it first came out in 4K, and I was like, this thing looks so cheap. And it wasn't because they put any less into it. It was because you were able to see all the strings, the fact they're using egg cartons as background props, stuff like that.
You can see it better.
Right.
And you're going to pick it apart anyways.
So I turn that whatever that filter is that they run it through. I turn that off so I don't have to.
Well, that's good.
I get that little bit of magic between me and the picture now.
All right.
And you mentioned the comics, and right now, Nightwing, in my opinion, is probably the best comic that DC's putting out right now. But part of the reason I like it so well, and a lot of longtime readers like it so well, is because it's going back and touching on stuff that happened 10, 15 years ago.
Because they haven't done anything good with the character since. They haven't done anything good in DC Comics since.
They went under Dan Didio. Dan Didio had a problem with characters like Wally West and Dick Grayson, and I don't know why, but he always liked to really do crappy things with them, and it pissed a lot of people off to the point that it wasn't Dick Grayson as Nightwing anymore. He was undercover as Grayson. Like the title of his book was Grayson. I was like, okay. And he was like a James Bond kind of Secret Service guy or something like that. And it's just like, and everybody that's a Nightwing fan hated it. I didn't even buying it because I'm not going to be a sucker for that kind of stuff. But
it's funny you said he's the best. It's the best comic DC's putting out now, and it's like, well, that's hard. That's like, hey, look at this piece of crap on top of these other pieces of crap. This one this one sparkles.
I'm probably only buying 3 DC titles, and I think this is the only one I have in my poll.
And the thing I learned from watching these shows on, from Young Justice to Titans, DC's roster is deep.
Yeah,
it is.
It is deep. Why can't
they don't know what to do with the characters. They don't know what to do with these characters at all. I mean, just watch their movies. They don't understand their own characters. True. And then they just let's just do it like this. It's the same as this Titan show. They're just squishing stuff like, well, I like this, but I don't like this.
Hey,
Hey,
Titans is
yeah,
good. I mean,
sure.
last night was a little disturbing because I got issues with snakes. Just tell you that right now.
Okay, Indiana Jones.
And to see Lex Luthor throw up a snake. Oh,
All right, so next character.
please. Make him somebody fun.
Speaking of Indiana Jones.
Dun, dun, dun.
Wow, I'm psychic. Street level character.
Yeah,
I guess he'd be street level.
so
There you go. Nice. Your character talk.
This is Decker from Blade Runner.
Oh.
Which we are pop culture clobbering time, not just comic book clobbering time. So I'm taking advantage of that pivot.
Oh man, I would have picked Lando.
So we're going from
Lando lives
Marv
in the clouds. He is not street level. Go ahead, Al.
Decker. So it does speak on you, man. It's kind of like he's so boring. Decker is so boring.
We'll see you, Lasso.
Our only viewer. He left after seeing this choice. This is like, hey, I gotta go stop the Blade guy, the runners. I'm gonna shoot them. There you go. It's so dry, but he's wet. I'm glad you showed this him in the rain because this is the only time he had any juiciness to him. Other than that, it was boring. I don't even feel like he wanted to be in this movie. But that's Harrison Ford for you. So
That's Harrison Ford. It didn't look like him to me. Look.
Anyways, yeah.
Wow.
Do I got eyes? Can I see? I don't. Oh, what is that?
So to me, Blade Runner is the most street level sci-fi movie out there. The set dressing is perfect. It was a movie made under a budget that worked within its budget, did some smart stuff, and made an excellent environment. And Decker is the main character in that movie. So that putting him on that street, yeah. It was either this or Mel Gibson from Lethal Weapon. So
yeah, I think he's more exciting. He does more. He's crazy. He has a personality. This guy is a cardboard cutout being carried around on a stick. I'm sorry.
I mean, Mel Gibson gets hooked on dog biscuits.
Yeah. Right. Look, Gore's in the house and he's saying, "Yeah, this is a beautiful, beautiful movie, but it's dry."
The
best thing about it is Rutger Hauer. Let's just get to the crazy looks. Rutger Hauer saved this movie. Uh-oh. Are we here?
You all right, Victor?
Yeah, good.
Okay.
All right, let's see what we got left. All right, we're down to our top picks.
The top three, and I'll probably be first because you hate me.
No, it'll make me first. Cause
Well, who's your pick?
My top
Luthor.
pick.
The most street level guy, Lex Luthor, because he,
Hey, if we could pick villains, it'd be a toss up between him and Kingpin.
Kingpin ain't no street level hero.
I said if we could pick.
Oh, there he is.
With the tiara and the chain belt.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. And I'm really enjoying reading Thunderbolts right now with him being the mayor. But Luke Cage, best TV series for the first season of that group. And I mean, once again, he never leaves Harlem. He has so much work to do. It all stays within Harlem. Mm-hmm. He can't get to Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy. No, he's the hero of Harlem. Is that one of his names?
Probably. I'll give it to you.
But Luke Cage, that's a bad man.
So talk about budget limitations. They couldn't they couldn't buy the man a tiara and a yellow shirt for
Well,
the streaming show.
They had him in one episode.
They did.
Yeah, one episode when he was getting experimented on in prison, and then he broke out and he was wearing it. He had the big old puffy afro, and he had the yellow shirt, the tiara, and everything.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch the show now.
yeah, there must be a yeah.
You guys,
Well, I'm like,
am I the only one that watched it? Am I the only one that
I've
watched
never
it?
watched
No.
it.
Michael Coulter was bald as the day is long.
Well, it's called a wig. If you don't notice, most of the Marvel characters wear wigs.
Bad ones, but
Yeah.
yes.
Look, Hollywood needs to step up their wig game because you can spot a wig in just about every show.
Yeah, they need some more black females involved with the wig game. Just saying. They know how to do a proper lace front.
I'll take your word
I
for
just
it.
I like the fact that it's your pick, and you were just saying how the show's good, and you don't even remember when he was wearing the outfit like that.
I mean, that'd be what, half an episode?
So the one special thing about this character and Victor is the fact that they share a birthday.
Yes, June 20th. Gemini's for life. But Luke Cage. I mean, I'm liking him as mayor, but I would like to see a current one where he was more of a street level hero like he was back in the day.
No.
Not the ivory tower hero that runs things from behind the scenes. This dude who's out there walking the streets.
Every once in a while, they bring him back in a limited series where it's either him or him and Iron Fist. And
Wow.
I admit I haven't.
Iron Fist. There you go.
Iron Fist was good in the comic book. The show was the garbage cans.
Okay, I was just like, can't let the brother have his own title. Got to throw Iron Fist up in there. Power, yeah, whatever it is. Power Man, Iron Fist, yeah, Iron Fist up there. This can't be Power Man presents Hero for Hire. Oh, you know what we need? We need some white in this.
I'm sorry. Well, that's not true because Master of Kung Fu that was out for a long time.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
but
I
when
don't
we
know.
were younger, was there anything more popular than Kung Fu?
But the thing
That's
about
why you put an Iron Fist.
the thing about Shang-Chi was that he was Bruce Lee though, and Bruce Lee was super
Bruce
popular.
Leroy.
Oh,
Bruce Leroy. You guys seen Last Dragon, right?
yes. What's
Yeah.
my name? Show enough.
No. Love that.
It's been a long time since I've seen that movie.
Oh,
Daredevil.
you're slipping.
Daredevil is
It's
my
Daredevil. I figured
all-time
he'd be on
favorite.
there.
all-time
Matt
favorite
Murdock.
street level character.
He's kind of the main event, and you just like threw him at second here. I don't know. I think I should have went before this guy.
I wanted you to have a chance to clean us up.
So Daredevil, yeah, he is. I don't know. I think maybe Luke Cage is more street than him.
I would give you that because Luke Cage doesn't have this rope that he swings, through the city on. That's the thing I was picking up on a lot of characters we consider street level. Like none of us picked Batman. I think we're all just Batmaned out.
I just assumed that you're going to pick Batman at some point.
So, you know how, like, when we were growing up, you saw either Bon Jovi or Guns N' Roses T-shirts all over the place.
Yes.
Every other song on the radio. I feel like that about Batman right now.
Yeah.
So I've just had way too much exposure to Batman. I'm almost over him.
So
does he have 10 of the top selling books right now? Or something like that.
Because they put him in all the books.
yeah, because he sells. He's over. They're trying to give everybody the rub.
But so what I was saying is that what I notice about these, what we call street level characters, whether it's Nightwing or Daredevil or Batman, they might be street level, but they're also up in the city, swinging on the rope. SpiderMan too, for that matter.
Yeah, well.
So they almost fly, but they don't have a power behind them to make them fly. So I think that's why we keep them in the street level category. But yeah, I mean, Daredevil broke out, under the creative direction of Frank Miller, that really just brought him back to the mean streets of New York City, and
Hell's Kitchen.
Hell's Kitchen. Here we go. Batman is like McDonald's, and one on every corner. Exactly.
Facts.
So, yeah, I don't know. I've liked Daredevil under Frank Miller. I've liked him under Bendis, somewhat under some of the other writers.
Yeah.
Ann Oseni did an excellent run, and I think that's what this is from, with John Romita Jr. doing the art.
Yeah, I like Daredevil on Netflix. I like him as She-Hulk. I'm curious to see what's next.
He got that booty. You got that. Yeah, okay, yeah. Daredevil is the man. I think. Yeah, when I really think street level, it's usually him Batman. But Daredevil is the guy that I'm like, yeah,
Yeah,
because he's fighting Kingpin, man, and Kingpin's street, and he's street. You got the two street guys
3
going.
weeks ago, he wasn't street.
What? He's not a street level hero.
Oh, okay.
This is about heroes, not Marv.
Now, does
This is about
Daredevil
heroes. This
fight
is about
Echo?
people that do good because they can do good and they want to do good, not because they need to get vengeance on somebody. That's why Punisher is not a street level hero, and Batman might not be either because he's doing it because his parents got killed. But if we clean that up, he's doing it so no one else's parents would get killed. So he's doing it for a good reason. Mm-hmm. That's what makes you a hero, doing something for a good reason, not because like, oh, my girl that I slept with last night got murdered. That's just revenge. That's two different things.
You don't think Lex Luthor thinks he has a good reason?
Lex Luthor, he's a bad guy. He's eating people's faces.
The best bad guys think they are the ones that are the good guys.
Mm-hmm.
Thanos thought he was doing it for a good reason.
Yeah, well, he's not street level. No, I mean real good reason. Now, this might put Luke Cage off the chart because he was doing it for money. So he's a hero for hire. That kind of takes him off he's not as much of a hero as he should be.
I mean, detective hero. I mean, not everybody can be a billionaire like a billionaire playboy Bruce Wayne.
I already knocked him off too. So I'm just saying, you do things for the right reason because it's the right thing to do. That makes you a hero, not like, well, pay me and I'll do it.
All right, let's do Al's number one pick.
Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Doing it for the right reasons.
Not just Spider-Man, but
the
70s TV series Spider-Man.
Yeah, 70s TV Spider-Man. And I'll tell you why.
An alien head, though.
Huh?
His head looks like an alien.
Well, because it's a real picture with the person. He's got a black. He had to wear his things on the outside. The reason why I picked TV Spider-Man just to make Jamie like cringe. It's really Spider-Man. I'm going with Spider-Man because he is the street guy. He's on the street. He might fight crazy monsters and stuff, but he's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And they just call it out. He's part of the hood, man. He is in the hood. People can look up to him. He's a hero. He's doing it because it's right to do. And he's doing it for the common man. He's not doing it for the billionaire down the street. He's not doing it because his parents got murdered. I mean, his uncle got killed, but then he realized he was like, man, he evolved as a human. And that's why he's the everyman, even though he's got spider powers. And that's why I pick him as the best street level guy. And let's just talk about the 70s show. He was so street, he could barely climb the walls. So
talking about your limitations on a low budget.
Yeah.
That's one where he's crawling on the side of the building.
It's like I gotta pull up my butt. They're just keeping me up here. It's great. I'm telling you. When I was a kid,
Spider-Man protects.
Huh?
We just have all of New York or New York City.
He's New York. He's everywhere. He swings. He might not be on the ground that much. In the show he was because they didn't, they'd have him on rooftops and stuff. Because in reality, man, how many crooks are going to be on a rooftop? And he just looks cool. I like the old design here. I think that might be the Japanese Spider-Man, isn't it? Or
I don't think so.
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
That background don't look too American.
It
I mean,
might have been. I don't know.
because they had the Japanese, back here. I don't know if you can see it. I got the '70s Japanese Spider-Man poster. Anyways, Spider-Man, I think he wins it all. I think Spider-Man is the top choice for the everyman, the street level hero. He doesn't get paid for it. He tried to, but then he learned. That's another thing. You got to learn from your mistakes. Spider-Man always learns from his mistakes. He is someone to look up to. That's what I think. And he's on the street taking
Spider-Man
pictures.
basically make money by taking pictures of himself and selling them to the newspaper?
Well, that's just no. Well, yeah, that doesn't matter.
I mean, so
That's
he's
not
just
going to
giving
someone.
himself up.
Hey, that's not going to someone and going, "Hey, you pay me, or I won't save your kid out of a burning building." That's completely different than like, well, I'm going to make some money off of my, my OnlyFans because Spider-Man OnlyFans. That's what I'm talking about. Spider-Man is the street level hero that we all need. But we end up with Punishers all the time. We need Spider-Man, but we get Punisher. And that's the problem.
Hey, Punisher, he's the icon of the movement.
Yeah, well, we won't talk about it. But anyways, so that is our 9 picks. So let's give what we should do is for people watching this in the future, if they do, we'll each give our honorable mention, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll have the people comment in the messages below of who they think out of these 3 should be the winner of the be the number 1.
Okay.
You think so? For anybody watching in the future, leave a comment of these 3 that we're about to tell about our honorable mentions.
We should have mentioned this at the beginning of the show in the first 10 minutes that people actually watch. And say stick around to the end for instructions. But all right.
Our exposition.
All right.
I'm going to do an exposition show just like Black Adam. It's just all exposition. Anyways, no, I'm not going to talk about it. I promise, Terry, I won't.
All right. So
Moore's going with Daredevil already, but that's
our runners up are this is Victor's.
Oliver Queen. Once again, he was great in Smallville, even better in Arrow. I mean, how can you not like Green Arrow?
Maybe we should just go with the ones we already talked about because Gore seems to like Daredevil, and if that's one he grows with.
Okay.
I think we should let people pick from all of our choices.
Okay.
But yeah, keep these up. So we got Oliver Queen, who he's great. Not the TV show Oliver Queen, but the real Oliver Queen.
Man, both TV shows he was great in.
Oh my goodness!
With the Mirakuru.
You mean we couldn't get Batman, so we got Green Arrow. Anyways, and let's talk about greatness. Let's talk about doing it for the people. Let's talk about Zorro.
The gay blade.
I loved Zorro. I loved.
That changes some meaning.
What?
So the gay blade, but that kind of changes in meaning.
That's one of my favorite George Hamilton movies. Is Zorro the Gay Blade. That's a great one. I love it because you swing your hips like these. It's funny to me. Anyways,
I mean, how many of us were making Z's all over the place as kids?
That's what I'm saying. Zorro is the man. He's the original sin. I'm telling you. There would be no Batman without Zorro.
That's true.
Is there a superhero that carries a sword around?
Yes, there's several.
Oh, okay.
But Zorro, I'm saying Zorro is the best. He's the original sin, and I think he's better than Luke Cage and Starfire and Nightwing.
Watch your mouth.
What is this?
This is from
Body bag? What, for the boobs?
Body bag.
There's no way she can stand with. stand upright.
That's Panda, and honestly, I can't remember what the dude's name is, but
This
it's
is
her
how we
dad.
end the show, folks. This image.
Street level characters, man.
This is where you can tell where Terry or Jamie gets his. He's got Marv. He's got body bag characters.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the other? Oh, and Blade Runner. Man, you must be exciting to hang out with.
You know from experience how exciting I am to hang out with.
So who is
Oh
this?
my god! I'm telling you, Jamie, some of these choices.
Fireman! Fireman!
Who is this character? Or who are these characters?
You'll never know them. There's no reason to know them. Yeah. Welcome to the 90s.
So the guy's name is Clownface, and the girl's name is Panda.
I got bras in Atlanta. Ugh.
And they got big boobies. This is why they're in here.
What do you want me to pick? Batman? I could have picked
Yeah.
Batman.
I would have rather you picked Batman than two characters that even finish a comic book.
Yeah, they finished the comic book. They did a miniseries and a one shot, obviously.
Who put it out?
Dark Horse.
Image? Dark Horse.
Well, you know he knows the answer.
Hey, I say these characters are what when you throw stuff at the wall, and that's what sticks. That's what these characters are.
So
I'm joking. I'm sure they're great.
I could have put out Lethal Weapon. I could have put out Wolverine, who inspired like pretty much every street level character. Since
I don't think he's street level. Wolverine's maybe the patch version, but he's fighting. You know, I don't know. I don't consider Wolverine street level.
When he's done right, he's street level.
Yeah, it's like saying Gambit street
These
level.
days, he's like
his first appearance. He was fighting the Hulk, dude. That's not street level. He was part of a gut. He's always been part of a team. He's not street level.
He's the best. He does what he does.
What? I'm best at what I do, and what I do ain't pretty.
That's it. Not very nice.
Yeah, I'm just saying he's not street level. We're crapping on Wolverine. He's not even on the list.
See, it doesn't matter who I would have put on my list.
You want to hear one of mine that I was going to put on there that I didn't?
Yeah.
Ted Cord, the Blue Beetle.
Yeah, yawn.
Yawn.
He flies around
body
in
bags. Okay, body bags.
He's
Blue
he's
Beetle?
another Batman.
Which one?
Not Batman. He's more Spider Daredevil. Even though Daredevil's just a rip
He's
off
a rich guy with no powers that uses technology.
Yes, but he's got a great outfit, and he's got it cool, and he's less violent than Batman.
Everybody's less violent than Batman. What are you talking about?
The things you could have done, the things they could have done with Blue Beetle. Well, fine, then I'm going to say it. Then Batman's just a ripoff of Zorro anyways, so kiss it.
Zorro didn't leave a body count behind.
I'm sure he did. In the shadow. So, anyways, everybody is derivative of someone else.
Yep.
So we can't be like, oh, it's just a knockoff of this. Fine, I get it. But you can take something that you like and try to make it better, and sometimes it works.
What's Cyborg a knockoff of?
The Thing.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. I thought the Thing was a
He's
knockoff.
been grim, man, and he's negative when he starts off because he's like, and the $6 Million Man.
Ah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. You take Ben Grimm and the $6 Million Man, and you put them together, and you got the Cyborg, and it works for me because the early Cyborg, man, I'd go with that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Actually, $6 Million Man was off of a book called Cyborg. So
that's a game for you. Who was this character a derivative of? Or who inspired this
Mark
character?
Rogers. Yeah, who's their daddy? Who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy? There you go.
Who's your daddy? Who's their daddy? Who's their daddy? There we go. Who's their daddy? And I'll tell you.
I think we're going to use that for our next show. I think we're working on a special guest to come on, or a guest or two. So maybe we'll make a game of that, and we'll put them to the test. In underground comics, Spain Rodriguez's Trash Man is the epitome of a street level hero. Marxist, working class guy living in New York City, fighting fascism, drinking and brawling, and loving women. That seems pretty street level to me.
I mean, it's the Trash Man.
I'm surprised I didn't hear Shaft in this. I was so surprised.
You know what?
So
I'm trying hard not to make all my choices black. Okay.
It's true. I applaud you on this one.
I think I was originally thinking that too, but I think that character's popped up on a list or two before. But then so has Luke Cage.
I mean, I hate to say, what's the difference between Luke Cage and Shaft?
Luke Cage has impenetrable skin.
But Shaft is right, delivers 10 times out of 10. Same thing.
Do we have a street? Do you have a street level woman that you like? Not Starfire.
That's why I was. I mean, Jessica
What's
Jones.
Catwoman?
Is the only
Catwoman is both, right?
Catwoman is like a high-end burglar when she's, I mean, in her purest form, I think.
Jessica Jones is basically a female Luke Cage, right?
Yeah, she's pretty street.
She's whatever you fit her into. She's kind of Hellcat.
Yeah, I gave it a little thought, not a lot, but like if you think of Batman, okay, all the Batman characters should be street level. Is Batgirl street level? Yeah,
she's derivative. Batman's her daddy, so it's like kind of like defeats the purpose.
Batman's her dad? I thought.
No. No, we're talking derivative. So Nightwing is.
How about Huntress?
That's the original Huntress.
I don't know.
I think it was Rose and Thorn. Rose and Thorn. That's a.
How about Dove?
She's not really street level.
Dove started out as a man, so.
Huh?
So Dove started out as a man.
Oh, then Hawk then. Oh, okay.
Dove was the brother, and then he died. I'm surprised they didn't do that they did that in Titans, didn't they?
Yeah.
Where the brother gets killed, and then they have I don't know.
It happens so fast that like you don't get any emotional attachment to the brother.
And that whole show is no emotional attachment. Sorry. Anyway.
My biggest critique of the Titans streaming show is the fact that it's a streaming show, which all of them have faults of being too long and drawn out. There's not a streaming show that I watched that I don't think you could cut 2 episodes out of this and it would be much better.
Yeah.
If they made like a 47-minute episode, that'd be the right length.
How long are they? An hour?
Yeah, about an hour.
Well, all right, we did it, folks.
There you go.
We did it. Just comment below and tell us who you think is the number 1 street level character, and who do you think it is? I mean, not just ours. Just let us know who you think, who you prefer.
Right. Who did we leave out that needs to be discussed?
Not Batman.
All right. Well, we will wrap this one up. Let's see. One more comment here from Gore. The day Barbara Gordon calls Batman Daddy marks the end of the Kate Crusade.
They did that in The Killing Joke, right? The cartoon version.
Oh, you said she gets around.
She does. Hey, there's a new who's Batgirl sleeping with this month?
It's Nightwing this month, literally.
Oh, Nightwing and Starfire together.
Not in the comics right now.
Oh.
Daredevil again. He's choosing Daredevil. He's choosing Daredevil.
Daredevil have a thing going on right now.
In the show,
Daredevil's a ladies' man, or is ladies' man. He's got all kinds of side action going on.
Well, it's like Ray Charles. He had apparently like 13 children.
Maybe that's the inspiration.
That blind thing, that blindness is a chick magnet.
And can you really see the good looking ones? I don't know.
You can tell by the wrist somehow.
I don't have warts all over.
All right, we will wrap this show up. We'll see you
Yes.
next time.
Blue Beetle, Tech Word Blue Beetle. That's who should win.
Be sure to like and subscribe and all that stuff, all that YouTube stuff, all
Yeah,
that
you
social
gotta
media stuff.
Like,
Share
share, subscribe.
If you watch this show, thank you. Pass this along to your friends. Let them know what they're missing. Matthew Poe says hello.
Goodbye.
If the multiverse came to Marvel, Matt Murdock could find a way into Barbara's bed. True that.
I'd give him money not to because everybody does that. It really is. She is the doormat of just like writers, just like this is who we want her to sleep with this week. You know.
Well, is there another female that's the main character in DC?
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
Wonder Woman, Catwoman, Harley Quinn.
Yeah. Harley
Ben
Quinn.
Compton enjoyed the show. Thanks for hanging out with us, Ben.
He liked the part where I was gone.
He liked the part where we said, we're going to wrap this thing up. He's tired of the torture.
Yeah. All right.
We'll remind you, keep your priorities straight. Faith, family, comic books, and we'll see you next time, guys.
Whenever there's a crime, who's always there to fight it? Whenever there's a wrong, who's always there to right it? When someone breaks the law, who do people holler for? It's the Batman, it's the Batman.